Thank you, everyone. Please take a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of council and staff, I'd like to welcome everyone to today's ceremony. My name is Maureen Adams, and I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. We will begin our meeting by acknowledging that we're meeting on the lands that have been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. As settlers, we are grateful for the opportunity to meet here, and we thank all of the generations of people who have taken care of this land before us. We acknowledge we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Akwesasne Mohawk and their ancestors. These lands and waterways connect to vast traditional areas of the Haudenosaunee, Iroquois, Algonquin, Huron-Wendat, and Abenaki peoples. These traditional territories were never wholly surrendered and were only claimed by French and British crowns. As we move towards healing past injustices, we must acknowledge the wrongs that have been done and work towards a unified path of coexistence and prosperity. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contributions Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our provinces and territories within the country as a whole. I would like to ask everyone to please rise as we sing the national anthem. Thank you, everyone. Please have a seat. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this inaugural meeting of Council. This yearly ceremony, which first took place 173 years ago in 1850, continues our long tradition of putting in place a warden to guide and lead our municipality in the upcoming year. At this point, I ask that all past wardens stand to be recognized. Maybe before everyone sits, I think we need to recognize who some of these individuals are. So William Hagan from 2003. Jim MacDonald, 2006. Dennis Fife, 2004 and 2007. He's in the field. Estella Rose, 2008. Chris MacDonald, 2009. Brian McGillis, 2010. Stephen Byvelds, 2011. Bill McGimpsey, 2013. Eric Duncan, 2014 and 15. Jamie MacDonald, 2016 and 2019. Karma Williams, 2022. And Tony Fraser, 2023. I would now like to introduce the members of Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. Andrew Gaindon, Deputy Mayor, South Stormont. Brian McGillis, Mayor, Township of South Stormont. Steve Densham, Deputy Mayor, Township of North Stormont. Frank Landry, Mayor, Township of North Stormont. Mark St. Pierre, Deputy Mayor, Township of South Dundas. Jason Broad, Mayor, Municipality of South Dundas. Tony Fraser, Mayor for the Township of North Dundas. Martin Lang, Deputy Mayor for Township of South Glengarry. Lachlan MacDonald, Mayor of Township of South Glengarry. Karma Williams, Deputy Mayor, Township of North Glengarry. And Jamie MacDonald, Mayor, Township of North Glengarry. Kimberly Castleman, our Director of Corporate Services and Clerk for the United Counties, will now come forward to administer the oath of office for the position of Warden.
Councillor Jamie MacDonald was elected Warden on motion moved by Councillor Frank Landry, seconded by Councillor Mark St. Pierre at the meeting of Council on October 16th, 2023. I would now ask Councillor MacDonald to please come forward and read the declaration of office of Warden.
I, Jamie MacDonald, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially, to the best of my knowledge and ability, execute the office of Warden to which I have been elected in this municipality, that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or malversation or other undue execution of such office, and that I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, as required by and in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. And I make this solemn declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it has the same force and effect as if made under oath. So help me God.
I now invite Councillor Karma Williams to assist in the installation of the Warden.
He said, "Don't choke me with it." I didn't, it was tempting. This golden chain of office we now place on your shoulders, being circular in form, it shows that our warden was chosen from the circle of councillors who compose the council of these counties. Investing you with it designates that we not only consider you as our chief official when we are in session here, but also we place on you the responsibility of honorably representing this council at any other public function where we are represented. The designs engraved on the chain serve to express those responsibilities which we all recognize as consistent with our presence here. The crest at the bottom of the chain, being that of the counties, reminds us of our responsibilities to these counties, that we, and you, give careful consideration to all the subjects that may come before us, and that we thoughtfully and economically administer the various municipal services and public affairs entrusted to us. Above this crest is another, that of the province of Ontario, by whose statutes we exist and act. To this province and its government, we owe all the cooperation we can give through our various services and institutions that our taxpayers may receive every consideration. Next in order, we find the maple leaf, the emblem of our country. This reminds us that we should never falter in our loyalty to this great country, with the union of provinces stretching from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. And then, resting on your shoulders is the Union Jack, the flag of our Commonwealth, under whose folds we are privileged to live, whose freedom we enjoy, and whose democratic justice gives us the right to conduct our private as well as municipal affairs unhampered by the fear of dictatorship. By this emblem on your chain of office, we also pledge our allegiance to His Majesty the King, who rules our Commonwealth on land and on sea around the world wherever the flag flies. Having invested you with your chain of office, it is but fitting that those sponsoring your nomination should be asked to place you in the Warden's chair. Councillor Frank Landry and Councillor Mark St. Pierre will now escort the newly elected Warden to his chair.
You want to pick me up?
Oh, yeah. Are we sure? Are we sure? I don't know where my head was that day.
Okay.
I now declare Jamie MacDonald to be Warden of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry for the ensuing year.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Warden, on behalf of the members of this council, I convey to you hearty congratulations upon your election as Chief Executive of this body, and pledge our ongoing cooperation and support so that the affairs of these United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry can continue to be conducted in harmony and result in success and prosperity for you personally, as well as our United Counties. On a personal note, I sincerely hope this is your final inauguration, as I think I've had to read this 3 times. Congratulations, Mr. Warden. I personally, as a personal friend and colleague, I am delighted for you. Congratulations. Did you say open bar?
That's downstairs.
At this point, I'd like to recognize some distinguished guests who are here to present today and provide some greetings to our new warden. So first, I would like to invite Eric Duncan, our MP for Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to start off with. He speaks last, so I'm going to be very cautious about what I share this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and congratulations, Mr. Warden. Third time's the charm, I guess we can say here. I will bring greetings on behalf not only myself, but my counterpart in Glengarry Prescott Russell, Francis Drouin, who is in the House of Commons for our final day today. He's in question period right now for our final day of the session, which I guess allows me to be here and represent perhaps the both of us today. It was nice to have and see many past wardens here today, but I'd also be remiss if we didn't acknowledge Tim Simpson, who was piping in today as the former CAO. It's good to see Tim, and Helen Thompson as well, the longtime clerk for many decades in municipal public service. And the reason I wanted to specifically mention them, it's nice to have them back, but for those of you at the Warden's Dinner, I love sharing this story of reminiscing about the time that I defeated Jamie for the wardenship back in 2015 for the second term, and it was the inside story now, and Helen's retired, so I can tell it now, just so you know. We voted, it was deadlock 6-6, and we voted again in deadlock 6-6, so the clerk has to put the names in a hat and pull the winner. And my name got pulled, and there we go, it's the luck of the day. I said, no, Helen now says that she's retired. She put my name in twice, so I was going to win no matter what. She just liked me more, I always say, so that's just the preference. I just wanted to get in the records. If there's minutes from today's meeting, we can put those in there if we could. But in all seriousness, Jamie, congratulations. This is a well-deserved honor, but a role that you will undertake again and do well at. One of the things in public life, whatever level of government it may be, it requires the support of colleagues, but I also know family and friends, which you've continued to enjoy. And I've seen the support of family that you have, because we talk about that, our time on council. I always enjoyed working with you. We had a fantastic county council at that point and a great experience. And I know you have a supportive family, because it was your mother after your Warden's Dinner when you brought up that story, the reminiscing of the vote. I think your mom went out and slashed my car tires that night in Maxwell. I'm pretty sure that's what happened that night. But anyway, it was all good. Jamie, I'll just say this, to be, as you would know, and those that have served, to serve as Warden of the United Counties is an honor to do it. To do it a second time is a unique experience, let alone to do it 3 times, which you are about to undertake. That doesn't happen by accident or by default. If it happened because the person had the best sense of humor, you'd been a warden for the past 10 years and running. The third time is a testament to who you are as a leader, as a mayor, as a county councillor, and now a warden again. There is that sense of humor, but I have always respected and appreciated the pragmatism of which you bring to the role, and I just think the way of constantly modernizing, changing with the times that we need to in the work that we do. You're a great leader and a great asset to the United Counties of SDG, and I know already in 2024 under your leadership we will be well served. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you. I would now like to invite Stéphane Sarrazin, MPP for Glengarry, Prescott and Russell.
Mr. Warden, good morning, everybody. It's an honor for me to be here on behalf of the provincial government with my colleague, MPP Quinn. It's nice to be here, and I have to say, it's been a few years as a past mayor and as a past warden. I've been working with, Jamie, Karma, and most of you guys for a long time. So I'd like to just take the opportunity to thank Tony Fraser for the year as a warden. I mean, you did a terrific job, always been around, and it's been a pleasure for us to be working with you, to be your voice at Queen's Park. So hopefully we'll be able to be your voice at Queen's Park for the next year, on behalf of the people of SDNG and on behalf of the North Glengarians. Is that how you say that? I wish you all the luck, and you have fun with it, and I'm sure you'll be doing a great job as a representative. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you. I'd now like to invite Nolan Quinn, MPP for Stormont, Dundas and South Glengarry.
Thank you. So congratulations, Jamie. You are the third warden that I've been able to work with. First it was Karma, so you are my second favorite from North Glengarry. And then it was Tony, and Tony made sure I was well aware of how special North Dundas was. And I say that every time I see Tony. You're in North Glengarry, so let Stefan worry about how special North Glengarry is up there. But in all honesty, congratulations, Jamie. I think we're getting the band back together. So Jamie and I were part of the library board about 7 or 8 years ago. I'm sure he doesn't want me to bring that back up. But Bill McGimsey's here as well. I also feel slightly out of place because the past 2 speakers were both wardens before, and I am not, so Eric and Stefan. So I feel like I'm kind of the odd man out, but I feel like I fit in well with you, Jamie. No, all joking aside, I was lucky that it wasn't Jamie my first year, that it was Karma and Tony first, because I know he will never let me hear the end of any mistake I make. And I will make sure to return the favor if you do any as well. But all joking aside, I know both Tony, the previous warden, and Jamie as well are very passionate about SDG. Whether it was Roma or Good Roads, every delegation they were at, you can see the passion and conviction for our area of the province. And because we are at the eastern end of the province, sometimes we do have to fight a little bit harder for our priorities when it comes to provincial assets in that regard. And again, Mayor Fraser was really great at that, as Jamie is as well. So I'm really looking forward to working with you over the coming year. And hopefully, again, he doesn't have too many things that he points out that I've done wrong, because I know Jamie does not let any of those slide. But ultimately, I'm looking forward to working with you, Jamie. Congratulations, and you guys couldn't have chose somebody better. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Justin Towndale, Mayor for the City of Cornwall, to come up.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. Sego. Congratulations, Mr. Warden. I know you speak last, but I have to say it's not an opportunity to get up here very often to say a few words about you. You've taken the opportunity of a few of your previous warden banquets, so it's nice to be able to return the favor for a change. No, but it is a great honor to be here. Again, congratulations. On behalf of the City of Cornwall and my council, I look forward to working with you over the coming year to accomplish our unified goals. I do want to take a moment to thank Tony Fraser in your role as warden over the last year. Tony, it was a pleasure getting to know you and work with you closely as we work together on our areas of interest and issues that are the same. Although I have to say, Jamie, now that I have to say something nice about you, when I think of you in a courtroom, this isn't where I picture you sitting, really. No, I am impressed that you're warden for 3 times. I did actually have a Facebook memory come up reminding me that in 2019 I was at your inauguration. I can't believe I'm here again. But in all honesty, when I first entered politics and became a councillor in Cornwall in 2014, we met early on, and I've always been impressed by you. I've always enjoyed working with you, and I look forward to doing so in this capacity. This is new for me. It's not new for you. But again, I've always respected you as a politician. I may not admit that publicly all the time, but I do mean that sincerely. And I honestly do look forward to our partnership together as we strengthen both Cornwall and SDG together. Because as a region, we succeed when we work together. We can't work in silos. So all the best to you over this term, and congratulations.
I would now like to invite Abram Benedict, Grand Chief for the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne.
Sego, good afternoon, or is it still morning? It's 2 minutes after, so it's a great pleasure, to bring greetings on behalf of my community of Akwesasne. And I do believe this is probably my 3rd or 4th time being at the Wardens, although I have been the Grand Chief for almost 9 years. In June, it will be 9 years. And one of the things that I've always brought to opportunities like this to speak and share about celebration is our commitment and my commitment as a leader, as a community leader, to continue to work with our partners, our neighbors, to build opportunities, bring opportunities, to work through the challenges that we face. And I know today we have many politicians in the room that are here celebrating the success or as maybe some politicians may think, the sacrifice or our condolences for being installed into another role. And I'm not going to kid that I don't completely understand how the counties and the wardens work, but when we look at it as a politician, mine are 3-year terms, and I can't imagine, a 1-year term, and all the pressure that's on that, right? And then as you continue to be in that leadership role back in your county, and now you're at being the warden, it's additional responsibility, and it's elected folks that have put you there, that support you going through it, and I want to acknowledge every member that is elected official today, because now we're in a different era in which we live in, and it's difficult in being politics. And people, I would say that characterize it as, since the pandemic, people have really changed in their outlooks. And to be in political life today is very difficult, and to take on more responsibility on top of what you already have is uplifting, and I commend you for that, Jamie. And I know that we've had some interactions over the years, whether it be as a municipal representative or here at this room as well, and I want to acknowledge that. But I also want to acknowledge, and I know that Eric touched on this, as family. During these difficult times and these sacrifices that we make, it's where family comes extremely important to support us, as well as the community in which we represent, and our electors, and those people that have put us in those positions and continue to support us through the challenging times, through the budget talks, through the legislative challenges that we face, whether it be as my community, as a First Nation community in Akwesasne, which is just across the St. Lawrence River, which is a very big, beautiful community represented by one of the best Grand Chiefs in Canada, I can tell you that. But the sacrifice that we have, and it's about you. You are the people that elect us to put in these positions. You are the ones that we serve every day in, day out as we move forward and to take on this role. It's an absolute pleasure to share in again. And I was here when Karma was sworn in, the second woman that was for the SDG, and the first is right back here. It was a great pleasure to have met her, and the history and the richness and the commitment of our political leaders within this region is amazing. And I always talk about how I want to bring, more want people to know that, and I tell this to Nolan all the time, that Cornwall is lots going on in this region. There's lots happening, and there's lots of great things happening in my community of Akwesasne. We don't just have a powwow there. We have lots of Mohawks that have lots of things that we collaborate on. We have businesses there, and we share the beautiful scene that we have in Eastern Ontario here, the St. Lawrence River that has, we have so much in common. And it's my role to continue to make sure that I remind all of our neighbors that, we're here to help politically, we're here to help socially, we're also here to help get through the challenges that we have as a region. So on behalf of myself, the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne, and in my community, congratulations to you, and I look forward to continuing to work with you over the next 1 year that you have in this role.
Tony Fraser, immediate past warden for the United Counties, will now present the warden's pin to Warden MacDonald. I'm sorry, my apologies.
Yes. This will be my first. Sit down.
My sincere apologies to everyone. I've made a small mistake, actually a very big mistake. I would like to ask Norman Riopel, Warden for the United Counties of Prescott Russell, to come up and say a few words.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to be amongst you this morning for the inauguration of Mr. Jamie MacDonald as the Warden of United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry for 2024. Our two counties have a long history of friendship and frank relations. Our communities face similar challenges and offer a wealth of assets that makes Eastern Ontario ever more attractive in terms of quality of life and investment opportunities. Over the next year, and under your leadership, Mr. MacDonald, I am confident that we will continue to have a united voice, both at the provincial and federal levels. Our continued relationship, teamwork, and effort will allow us to further promote an environment where families can grow, businesses can strive, and everybody feels welcome. We are looking forward to working with you and your colleagues during the next year. Warden MacDonald, we wish you a great success and reiterate our full support and collaboration. Thank you.
So now, Tony, please come up. And yes, it's okay. My apologies.
I'll come up. Just go.
I believe he was the warden.
I would now like to turn the floor over to Warden MacDonald.
Thank you, Maureen. MP Duncan, MPPs Sarazan and Quinn, the greatest Grand Chief in all of Ontario, Benedict, Canada, Mayor Towndale, Warden Riopel, Warden-elect LaRue, fellow county councillors, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance today. It is much appreciated. This will be my third time as warden of these great united counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. My first term, I followed in the footsteps of our current MP, Eric Duncan, also known as the guy who couldn't beat me in an election, so had to have his name picked out of a hat. Now, could you imagine what today would be like had he not won? I think he'd have been cleaning Pierre Poilievre's office, but maybe not. But I know on that day, had he not won on that fateful day, his supporters would have stormed the county building. I lost my spot. Wow. With placards that read, "Stop the Steal," threatening the former clerk, Helen Thompson, to not certify the election results, and all of his supporters wearing MAGA hats. Make Alexandria great again. But I'm not really that bitter about this loss. This time I'm following Tony Fraser. Big shoes to fill as well. Tony, congratulations on a great term. You provided leadership and stability to a council that had many new faces and guided us through our strategic plan that has set the priorities for the next 3 years. I would say I was somewhat disappointed in you. On our first meeting, we were standing here and the new council was there, and I said, geez, look across. Look at all these fresh faces. Look, they're all just eager. They've got great ideas. And he said, yeah, I didn't know it was the warden of Romper Room. I see karma. I see. No, I'm just kidding. And Tony, just before we got here, Maureen asked about who was parking in the warden spot. So I said, let Tony go ahead. You took the bait. At 11:01, you were towed. So the work on our second year of this term begins on Monday. We have many challenges ahead as we face increasing costs, downloading, housing, and workforce shortages, mental health, and poverty. We'll meet these challenges through partnerships and collaboration. We must continue to work with our lower-tier municipalities. Regular communication and outreach are paramount. Working with our neighbors is a cornerstone of our strategic plan. The City of Cornwall, Akwesasne, and Prescott Russell are willing participants and also see the need of working together as a region, from the south of the St. Lawrence to the Ottawa River, from the Quebec border to the outskirts of Ottawa. We have a strong regional voice, and we need to use it. We have 3 members of provincial and federal parliament here today. We appreciate that you are all strong, vocal proponents of this region, and will require more of your assistance. Ontario municipalities are facing budgetary challenges that are daunting. An increase of over $1.2 million in costs of social services, social housing, paramedic services, and Glen Store Dun Lodge this year alone. An increase of $190,000 to the Eastern Ontario Health Unit, and requests from local organizations such as the Last Resort Program, administered by the United Way, for funding that was previously provided by upper-tier governments. There has been no property assessment done in Ontario since 2016, and one is not planned in 2024. The provincial government needs to jumpstart impact. Property values have increased exponentially, and I worry about how that will affect our residents. One thing we can all agree on is we need affordable housing. Municipalities are ready to work with provincial and federal governments to hit their targets. But we cannot maintain our current assets of roads, bridges, water, and sewer systems. It's beyond our capabilities. The pressure of new services, without adding the pressure of new services, show us the money and we will get the housing built, guaranteed. One of my main priorities continues to be educating children in their own communities. Rural schools are an important pillar to our local economy. The province just released a new plan to build new schools faster. But more importantly for SDG, it states in the plan, one of the key reforms is effectively using space by supporting school boards in working together to operate schools in joint use facility between 2 or more boards within the same building where appropriate, or as shared use sites where a school is part of a larger building and multiple users. This is exactly what we have been advocating for since the last PAR process. Our newly set up Rural Schools Committee will get to work immediately to advocate for these new reforms. Finally, we are committed to green living. By maximizing our natural assets, including SDG County forests, agritourism opportunities, and waterfront amenities, we'll market our region as a leader in environmental sustainability. We will subscribe to the principles of long-term sustainability, mitigating the impact of climate change, and environmental stewardship in our operation and lines of business. I am expecting great things this term from an amazing council and county staff. We will be looking to the future. It won't be easy, but we are certainly ready to move our agenda forward together. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for coming today. Thank you to our special guests, for your kind words. I think they were kind, but thank you to North Glengarry Council and staff for attending. It's a busy year as warden, and I will certainly need all the help I can get. Thank you to former CAO Tim Simpson for piping today. Thank you to Gabrielle, I don't know where she went, but for the beautiful music. Thank you, Gabrielle. Also, thank you to Kimberly, Todd, Maureen, and the rest of the staff here that put this event together. Today, I want to also thank my family. My 5 much older siblings, brother and sister-in-laws, keep me grounded. They are always there for me. And if you think I'm an idiot, you wait till you meet them. My kids, Madison and Cameron, are the best. I am so proud of you guys, and I adore you. 2024 is a big year. Not only as warden, but Madison and her fiancé Ashton are getting married in September at the fairgrounds in Williamstown, South Glengarry. Yeah, not too happy about them getting married in the dark side of Glengarry, but at least, truthfully, I like her boyfriend. I mean, he's okay. I mean, kind of like him. So, kidding, Ashton. Thank you to my mom. She's been the leader of the family. She may have shrunk 1.5 feet in the last decade, but she still plays full contact politics. Right, Eric? So, yes. And my mom just turned 90 in September. Mom, you do not even look a day over 91. Just kidding. That's her famous line, I did my best. So at this point, I would just like to thank everybody again for coming and have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. 2024 will be awesome because I'm here. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
This concludes our program, but we would like to invite everybody to ASCA for a luncheon. ASCA is located at 317 Pitt Street. So thank you, everyone, and look forward to working with you in 2024, Mr. Warden. I'm speechless.